The best plants for attracting butterflies. We alluded in our introduction to seasonal diversity, but we also find considerable diversity in terms of plant type when we peruse this list of good butterfly plants. Daffodils are classed as spring bulb plants, for example, more specifically, deer-resistant bulb plants, which is an important consideration in deer country. But you'll also see references below to perennials, annual plants, shrubs, and trees. Like daffodils, the ornamental onions, such as Allium Schubertii, are bulb plants that flower in spring. The flowers of the latter, however, will appear later in the spring season than those of the daffodil. What we really like about this ornamental onion is how good it still looks even after the blooms have gone by. This is the feature we wanted to capture in our picture, which shows the dried seed head in all its architectural splendor. Lantana is a tropical flower, which is why northerners treat it as an annual and grow it in hanging baskets or other container gardens. No matter how you use it, lantana can inject vibrant color into your landscaping. It is an invasive plant in Florida. What's your stance on wild violets in the landscape? Are they weeds or wild ground cover? This is one of those eye of the beholder issues, so your answer will likely correspond to your overall landscaping philosophy. Those who gravitate toward a laid-back, natural look will tend to compare wild violets to Johnny jump-ups, noting, furthermore, that the former come free of charge. Those who prefer a manicured appearance in their landscape will probably wish to eradicate wild violets. Candytuft is another late spring bloomer. This perennial can serve as a flowering ground cover. But other than its ability to draw butterflies, we value it mainly for the beauty of its flowers. Not only are the blossoms wonderful when viewed en masse, but we also like to admire the individual flowers up close. The pattern their petals form is quite exquisite. Rosa aficionados will be glad that we've worked at least one kind of rose into our list of plants that attract butterflies. Meanwhile, those who are hesitant about growing roses because they've heard they're hard to grow will appreciate the particular selection that we're featuring. The fact is, this little landscape rose will grow like a weed even for the brown thumb. While many plants, including red-hot poker, are visually appealing in their own right, it also pays to know a few of the tips used by the pros in designing a garden. By playing with these design principles, you can achieve a composition that is greater than the sum of its parts. We just mentioned a potential use for red-hot poker, namely, to create a contrast in form. In our own landscape, we grow it close to chocolate-dropped sedum. Not only do the two contrast in terms of flower form, the chocolate drops flower head is dome-shaped, but also in color. Like red-hot poker and chocolate drop sedum, Maltese Cross is a perennial and a summer standout. Maltese Cross is one of those traditional cottage garden plants that people grew for ages. Our grandparents knew what they were doing. But the selection of plants that attract butterflies is not limited to low-growing vegetation. Shrubs and trees are part of the mix, as well. No list of plants that attract butterflies would be complete without mentioning Buddleia and the next entry, Asclepias. In the case of the former, many worry about its presence on a different kind of list, namely, a list of invasive plants. Happily, you may have the option of a non-invasive Buddleia, called blue chip. This one's a type of milkweed. If you know anything about its relative, common milkweed, then it doesn't surprise you that it's on a list of plants that attract butterflies. Most people find it prettier than common milkweed, thus its greater popularity as a landscape plant. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more interesting videos. And please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm.